Hello, everybody. This is Harry again. My little contribution to uh, the movies A to Z or A to Z if you're, I guess, English. Um, anyways, this week it's the letter O. One of my movies that I was going to pick, which was actually, I guess, sort of a horror film, it's called The Omen, has already been done. So, and so was, well, the others was shown, but it wasn't done. Or really, but I figure I stick with what I know best a little bit is the classics. So I picked a Buster Keaton film called Our Hospitality, which was released back in 1923, and it stars Buster Keaton, Natalie Talmadge, and also stars his father Joseph Keaton, and here we go, looking it up. Joseph Keaton and Buster Keaton Jr., his son, he was played the young Willie McKay. That's was Buster Keaton's character's name in the movie. And then, um, anyways, it's my favorite Buster Keaton film, um, besides the General. But this was the first one I ever watched. Um, I seen on television on PBS back in the old days. Um, that had, and Joe Roberts is in this as well. I'm sorry. But anyways, it was on PBS. I think American Masters or some program that they had that they played. And it was the first time I was actually exposed to Buster Keaton. Um, when I was a child in New York, the PBS station there was Channel 13, and during the summer when I was able to stay up a little bit later, they used to play silent films. A show, I think it was called the Comedy, or the World of Comedy with Harold Lloyd. They used to play. So Harold Lloyd was actually the first silent films that I ever watched. And then Charlie Chaplin. There was a movie called The Rink. And then when I was in um, elementary school in New York, one of the days where we couldn't go out because it was too cold out, they played the Gold Rush, which was funny because it was all done pretty much in Alaska and the snow. So kind of thinking about it now, that was kind of a weird choice, but it gave us exposed me to the silent cinema that I have loved ever since. And so in the 80s, I think it was 1988, 89 when this came on, they had, I guess in those days, they had restored it. And Carl Davis did a musical score for it. My version here is the Kino edition, which has a nice slip cover here, a nice thick slip cover, and I love the artwork on here. And the story is basically Willie McKay is Buster Keaton's character. When he was a child, there's a family feud, and it's between two families. Um, yeah, and I just watched this too. Um, the McKays and another family, sort of like the Hatfields and McCoy feud, except this was done probably around the 1840s. It's where it's based on. It's pre-Civil War, and Buster Keaton. It's a quaint thing because in the beginning of the film, that they show the feud would happen between the family, the murder, and then they uh, move forward into time to New York City, Times Square, where they show, you know how Times Square is now, where it feeds off there in Broadway and 42nd Street. Anyways, there it was just an old cottage and stuff. It was pretty nice. It was supposedly taken from an old lithograph that they did. they showed um, uh, they had seen and made it into um, the scenery. Um, anyways, Willie McKay grows older and he finds out he inherits this house, and he thinks it's it's a lot of money. Thinks it's going to be a big mansion, and he arrives in town. What they do is he travels on an old fashioned train, and that's a nice little setup how they have the train, which was his father is actually the engineer of this train. It looks more like stagecoaches on rails, and then they're going up and down these rails, going over different terrain, and just a lot of opportunity for gags, sight gags, and such like that. He arrives in town, and then the rival family realizes that he's in town because he meets up with one of the rival sons and says his name, and then well, from there on it goes that they want to kill him. And he's looking for his home, and then he meets this girl, and he starts courting her, um, and then the father and all that. It's funny because the father realize knows that this is the heir, and it's just their instinct to kill this man, Buster Keaton's character, and but he won't kill him if he comes to the house, and he doesn't approve of his daughter seeing him, of course. And when he comes in the house, he says he's our house guest. I can't kill him. But as soon as he walks out the door, they're chasing him around with guns, and then he walks back in the house, and then he realizes what's going on. But the picture quality on this, I won't give too much away on it because I really suck at telling these things. But the picture quality is good for its time, 1923. Kino did a nice version of it. They really don't restore a film like they put it like Criterion will. They take the scratches out and do wet gate process or anything like that. They kind of leave everything intact. And these pictures, the quality of these films are actually not too bad considering the age of them and not being totally restored. Um, this has um, a soundtrack to it composed by Carl Davis, which is the one I've seen, which was performed by the Thames Silence Orchestra, and then a musical score by Donald Hunsberger. And it also has a short film from 1925 called The Iron Mule, which also has a cameo role of Buster Keaton dressed up as an Indian, which is pretty funny. And they used the train that they used in the original Our Hospitality. They used that in this movie. And then it has a documentary of the film, and then a alternate cut of the film called Hospitality, a 49-minute alternate cut of the film with an explanatory introduction and an organ score by Lee Irwin, and it has galleries of photos and snapshots. And the movie runs about 75 minutes, and like I said, this is my favorite Keaton film, I guess because it's the first Keaton film I ever saw, or feature film. Sitting here thinking about one of the first films I actually seen him in was in a short film called The Cops, because I forget the TV show, but anyways, they were trying to recreate the scene in Cops, and they showed the original film and that, but actually just the first feature film. I digress here. But anyways, this is my contribution, the letter O. Very stumbling affair here. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you don't, well, I'll give it a thumbs down. Couldn't complain there. And leave comments. I appreciate your time. Thank you.